Hey everybody, and welcome to Wire Talk today. We are so excited. Today we're going to do a back to basics, going back to school. So I'm going to turn the interview tables today around on Emily because she was a teacher before she became a mom. And I'm going to get sort of behind the scenes look at what do teachers want from parents, because I think we as parents sometimes build up all these expectations. We have to jump through all these hoops. We have to do all these things. And it may not even align with what the teachers want. And this isn't just Emily's perspective. She's talking about what other friends of hers that are teachers that have talked about throughout the years and what they talk about in the teacher's lounge. We're going to look behind the curtain today into a teacher's world, and hopefully we'll all gain some perspective and a new outlook on it so that where we can all work together. And hopefully, my hope and desire is to lower the bar and expectations that we are placing on ourselves as mom on this perfection roller coaster that we're on. So let's jump into Wire Talk today.
Well, hey mamas, welcome to Wire Talk. This is going to be a little bit different format than normally.
Absolutely.
But before we jump into that, I think this is the first episode that they are seeing in our new studio.
Ooh, that's right, because last week it was a Zoom.
It was a Zoom.
With Dr. Kristen Hodges.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Emily's like, wait a minute.
It's been a long
Y'all,
day.
It's been a long day. We started at 8:30. We didn't start recording at 8:30, but we've been in the studio since 8:30. It's just been a long day. So today's right now is the last session that we're recording for the month of August. So, and it's a 5-week month. So we've been at this for a while.
Yes, but it's been good stuff. It's
It's been amazing. We had an interview last week with Dr. Kristen Hodges, and she is a doctor in psychology and also has an autistic son. So she spoke on the autistic world with children and what parents can do working with it was so good. Emily and I, we were in tears.
I mean, I was in legit tears. Mom was very emotional, but you did not cry.
I did have a few tears.
Oh, you did? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
They didn't trickle down, but
yeah,
I know.
But so anyways, we have officially moved to your new office.
Yes.
And if you are just listening to this and you're like, well, I want to see what it looks like, just hop onto YouTube and find us and you can see our beautiful selves. We have 5 different outfit changes. So that was a lot of work. We were about to film the next one. Mom's like, you have to change. I'm like, oh goodness, I have to change. So we've grabbed a cup of coffee and we're going to just really talk about back to school basics.
Yeah, and today I'm going to turn the interview tables around on Emily, and I'm going to interview Emily.
So exciting.
Because she used to be a teacher. You taught for 4 years, right?
Taught for 4 years.
Yep, and we're just going to sort of peel back the curtain and see what teachers are looking and wanting from us as parents. I think a lot of times we envision things are happening, and this is what they want, and they're judging me as a parent. And I just bet you they're not judging us. So now we're going to really figure out the rest of the story. So Emily,
Can I just say I think the word is caveat, whatever.
Yes.
I'm just one teacher. I've not been in the classroom for almost 5 years, but there are some things I do remember. But if I don't want to step on anyone's toes or anything like that.
Y'all, that's her green coming out. You're not going to step on anybody's toes.
Okay.
And you've been around, you haven't been in the classroom in a while.
But a lot of my friends are
But a lot
teachers.
of your friends are teachers. And teachers are like everybody else. They talk. And not necessarily bad. It's just, I'm sure teachers are like, I wish parents knew blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And now we're going to tell them.
Yeah.
We're going to give the parents the inside scoop. Mm-hmm. So let's just jump in. We're going to call this episode Back to Basics for Back to School.
Love it.
So first off, I wrote some notes down while we were just chatting before it ever started.
Awesome.
And I love this. We're going to start off with this. You said that teachers have the first day of school, they have 3 goals. What are the 3 goals?
Well, let me just say this too. Back to teachers from back to school is like one of our favorite days. Like I loved it. Like I had the first day of school jitters just probably as much as your kiddos do. It's so fun. You get to see your students walking in for the first time. Some of them are a little excited. Some of them are a little nervous. And it's so fun. Like it's the best. But in my team, our goal was to get them there, get them fed, and get them home, like all safely. And those are our 3 goals. And if we could do all 3 of those things, anything else was a bonus.
I love that. So really, you're keeping it very simple.
As simple as possible in the first couple of days of school.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So for parents, I think we can translate this into our world. I wrote down 3 goals for a parent. So the 3 goals for a parent for the first day of school: get them dressed. That's number 1.
Very
Set
important.
expectations. Let them know, hey, you're going to get on the bus. The bus is going to take you to school. You're going to walk to your class. There's going to be a teacher in the foyer that's going to help you get to your class. All the things. Or I'm going to drop you and then I'm going to pick you up.
Absolutely.
And then I'm going to pick you up. I'm going to be in the car rider line. You're going to get on this bus, whatever it is.
This is your bus number. This is your car number.
Yeah. Set the expectations for the day. Your teacher said you're going to go to lunch at this time. You're going to do this. So the child sort of knows. And then the third thing is to celebrate the day. When they come home, you've accomplished. They got dressed. They did the day. Now let's celebrate. And it doesn't have to be a big deal celebration. Just way to go. Tell me about your day. What was good? What was bad? Fill me in on all the things and celebrate that.
And you might have kids say, it was a good day.
Yeah.
Ask them, did you go to a special today? What was your snack? What was your neighbor's snack? Who did you sit by them? Because, sometimes they're kind of exhausted after that first day.
Truly.
There's nothing tired. One of my sweet friends, we became best friends, Megan Barton. She taught with me in 3rd grade, but then got moved down to kindergarten, which is funny because you were best friends with her mom growing up.
I was, yes.
And she goes, Emily, I thought 3rd grade was exhausting, but there's no exhaustion like a kindergarten teacher after the first day of school. And everyone who goes from older grades to kindergarten, they're like, there's nothing like it. So my hats truly go off to kindergarten teachers because it's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work because basically you're teaching them how to sit still all day long.
You're teaching them everything.
And they're all new to it. So let's love on our kindergarten mama teachers even extra this year, right?
Absolutely.
So for the first day of school, let's keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
First day, get them dressed, set expectations, and celebrate their day. All right. Now, on the forms, you said that for open house.
Yes.
We'll just start there. So what is it as a teacher for your goal for open house? What is that for you? What does that look like?
It's your first time meeting your parent, like your students. But as a parent going in, you're going to be signing your name a lot. Like, there's going to be.
Like they're buying a house?
Yes, exactly. Honestly, one parent, this was amazing. She had labels.
What?
She had her kids' names, their birthday, both of the parents' addresses, like everything that you could think that was on the form, and she just stuck it on the paper. This is like her 4th child. She knew what she was doing. And then she would make sure that everything else was filled out.
Yeah.
So, and then sometimes they do it online now,
Wow.
but it's just, make sure you fill out the forms and make sure that you ask the questions that you have a question on. And if you have a student who is more anxious, you should have a calendar of what their day looks like. But if it's not there, just we're going to say Harper, because that's my daughter's name. Harper, I don't know exactly when you're going to go to lunchtime, but you're going to go to lunch here and you're going to have specials here, and just kind of give them a little bit, like you said, kind of set expectations for the day. But just fill out those forms. And if you have any questions, just ask the teacher.
But you said specifically whenever we were talking through this that there are certain things parents can put on the forms, like how to love your child.
Oh, yeah.
How to make your child feel special. Tell us a little bit about that,
So,
why that's helpful.
Well, if there's a form that says, tell us a little about your child, teachers don't necessarily need to know every single bit of information, but if you're going through something in your family that you think the teacher needs to know, like maybe someone's sick or something's happening, just let them know, because then we can love on those students a little bit more. Or I had a parent one time say they don't like hugs. So that was good. Like, I knew not to give that child a hug.
Well, because you're a huggy person
I'm a huggy
to
person.
begin with.
So I gave them a high five or something like that. Or they're very nervous. And I would just know, I would read those forms and just be like, I know that I can't be there 100% for every student every day, but I can read those forms and know how to love on that child in the chaos of the first day.
There you
So
go.
you don't need to give them every bit of information, and but just a little bit. Like, let's just say from Harper, if it was my form, I would just be like, if I was filling out the form, Harper needs time. She just needs time to figure out where she is, who she's not a love bug. She will get there eventually. But I would just say on the form, Harper needs time to get adjusted. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And, I used to, on those forms, Taylor was always my child that was a little quirky going in. So I would let the teachers know, like, he is slow to warm up. He is a great student once he gets warmed up, but you're going to have to give him some space and some time. With Emily, it was always like, she's a joy. She loves school. Her only issue is going to be talking too much.
And it was
and
too much.
So, but whatever. I love that. Sort of working with the teacher and helping them. Hey, this is my child. This is what they need kind of thing.
You're not giving them everything because they don't have time to read everything. But if it's a 1-2 sentence or a 1-2 word, it's good.
All right. We also talked about, you said this was important, I thought. You were saying you need to put school almost into 3 buckets. She said, sort of like Mom, you talk about in Mom Core, the non-negotiables, the essentials, and the bonus. Mm-hmm. Emily, will you talk to us about that? Like what all you mean by that?
You're going to have to tell me. We talked this through. So the non-negotiables are you need your backpack because you need your backpack. You either need your lunchbox or lunch money. They need to know how they're getting home from school and how they're getting to school. And those are really your non-negotiables. Like those you got to have.
Yeah.
Okay. And your essentials are your school supplies. Make sure you're having the right stuff. And just so you know, you don't have to have the nicest binder or the nicest everything. The kids don't, they might be like, oh, you've got those pencils, but that's okay.
Yeah.
They don't have to have mechanical pencils. If you just have wooden pencils, it's okay. But your essentials are your gym shoes for if you have PE that day, or what else did I say?
Okay, you did say on time was a non-negotiable.
On time is a non-negotiable. It helps them set up from the day so they're not stressed out. Like there's buses come in at different times. Mm-hmm. So, but there's always like 15, 20 minutes before the day actually starts. And it kind of helps them get the routine in there. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Get them there.
All right. So just to reiterate, non-negotiables are on time, the backpack, the forms filled out, and their lunch, whatever it's going to be.
Right.
Lunch money or box lunch or whatever
it is.
Okay. The essentials. We've got homework to be done and accomplished.
Yep.
What school gets going. The routine, get them into a routine. Mm-hmm. Sleep, you said, was a non-negotiable.
Yeah, you could tell the kids who just stayed up way too late and they're just not in a good mood. They don't want to be there. They need time. They need sleep.
Yeah.
For sure.
And children need at least 8 hours of sleep.
At least.
Most of the time, they need a little bit more. So, and then, like you said, the gym clothes and things like that.
Yeah.
But those are your essentials.
School supplies,
and the bonus, and this is where I think moms mess up all the time, because this is where moms get hyper-focused.
Because they want it.
Of course. I was the same way. You want your child to look cute and all that. But we hyper-focus on the hair, on the outfits, on, the sign, the letterboard, first day of school. Got to get the picture in before we go to school and all that. Emily made a good point. If you make the sign a week after school starts, who really cares?
No one's going to remember.
No, but the point is you get it done. So you could even do it on the weekend. It doesn't have to be that first very morning.
Like, let's just say your kid is nervous already and they don't want to wear the outfit that you picked them out to wear in the morning because it's the first day of school outfit. Wear it next week. It's okay. You can, if you wanted that picture with the matching outfits with your siblings or whatever, just maybe take it when they get home from school or the next week. But it's okay.
Yeah.
Teachers aren't looking at, oh, they're wearing this clothes, they're wearing this brand, they've got this. They're just like, oh, they're here. We're so excited they're here. They made it to school. Step 1 is done. They made it to school.
I love that. So bonus, hair, outfit, sign, being the room mom. And just to let everybody know, I thought I was a good mom.
You were a great mom.
But I was a room mom one time for every child I had, and then that was it. Being a room mom 4 times is about all I could manage. But I didn't feel that need to do that every single year. And I'm sure as a teacher, you don't look down on room moms. And just like Emily said at the beginning on the forms and filling out, I always went up to the teacher after they opened house and just said, hey, I'm working. Whenever I was a working mom. And I just said, I can't come into the class. Plus I have Abby, which was a preschooler, and they did not want preschoolers into the classroom. But I can cut things. If you send things home, I can cut them out for you. I can go to the grocery store and get extra supplies for you. Just please let me know. Send me emails or send a note home with one of my children and let me know what all you need. And I'm happy to do it. And let them know, like, I want to be involved,
Right.
but I can't be here in the classroom. And half the time the teachers are like, you're good.
And you
You're
know
golden.
what? Also, there are some moms who want and love being the room mom. So let's celebrate them.
Oh,
Be like,
yeah.
you go, girl. Like, there are some people who love being the room mom and they enjoy it. They like planning out the parties and everything they do. But like, I'm kind of like you. I will show up. I'll participate. If you need extra help on a Tuesday at 5 o'clock, I'll come help out. But I don't have the huge desire to be a room mom. But I
Right.
can celebrate you if you want to be a room mom. But that doesn't mean I'm a bad mom. And if you are a room mom or are not, it's just you have to stay in your own lane.
Amen.
And you have to celebrate who you are too.
All right. We talked about what a teacher needs from the parents, and you said the number one thing was support. What do you
And
mean by
grace.
that? Well, grace is number 2.
Oh,
so
sorry.
let's get to support first.
Support. I think you told me that one of your friends says you don't believe everything that. What did you say?
I had a friend and she was a teacher. She taught for like 20 years, and she told the parents at open house, she said, I'll make you a deal. I won't believe every single thing your child tells me about you if you don't believe every single thing your child tells you about me.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that was just really a great way to start off the year because children say crazy things all the time to the teachers
Yeah.
and vice versa from the, that this is what my teacher said or whatever.
Mhm.
So,
But what I mean by support is just that, like knowing that your teacher is on your child's side 99% of the time
right.
and giving your teachers the benefit of the doubt and knowing there's always two sides to a story. Like, if something's going on and you have a question about it, just email your teacher. Hey, just curious. This is what's said. I just need to know. And then you can kind of give your side as a teacher of what's going on. And I think that's helpful because teachers want the best for their students.
Right.
Like I called them my chickens. I wanted my chickens to succeed more than anything else. And I love my chickens. And, they're actually my first group of class that I taught is seniors this year, which is mind blowing.
Oh,
But
wow.
anyways,
That
I
is
know.
crazy.
Mhm.
Well, and I always told my children, whenever you're at school, I want you to know that I support your teacher 100%. And a lot of times whenever my children would come home and they'd fuss and complain about the teacher, I would listen, but then I would say, you know what? She's the boss. And I would make notes. And there were some times I would go back to the teacher and
Absolutely.
say, hey, Emily or Taylor or Kelsey or Abby said blah, 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 blah. Can you tell me your side of the story here?
Mhm.
And there was only, in all the years that all of y'all were in school, there were only 2 situations that I remember addressing personally. But I always did that in private. My child didn't even know that I went to the teacher or went to the principal one time to address the situation because I wanted them to know I support the teacher. I support that authority in the school because that's where Dad and I believe that's a good school. That's why y'all are going there. And I want the teachers to know we back them up.
Right. And I think when you mean support, it's just asking the teacher, how can I support you this year?
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe sending a follow-up email, September, whenever it is. Hey, I know I asked you at open house. It was crazy. How can I support you in the classroom with my kid? How can I do that? And honestly, knowing that you have got parents in your corner makes a really big difference.
All right. I love that. The second thing you said what teachers need from parents is grace.
Yes.
And I love that. Tell us what you mean by that.
I think it's just the benefit of the doubt, like not letting
Not
things,
just assume the worst.
just
all
not
the
assuming
time.
the worst. Things happen in school,
Mm-hmm.
And you don't just need to be like, oh, I'm assuming grace and just don't pull the wool over your eyes, but just take a deep breath. They are your babies. You do love them tenderly and lovingly as much as you can, but the teachers really do care for your students as your babies as well. Now, let's just say this, they don't get a first day of picture, a lot of teachers will send pictures the first day of school, especially in elementary school, but maybe they just didn't get to it or something happened, but just know hey, that's okay. Hey, we didn't get a picture this year. It's going to be all right, but maybe we'll get something later, and if you have a hitch in your step and oh, I want to know, then just instead of talking to your friends about it and be like, they did this, this, and this, just directly call the teacher or email them and be like, hey, I have a question and I would like to talk about it.
I love that. All right. Also, I just wanted to point out to the mamas out there and just say, hey, listen, you don't have to be everything to everybody all the time. Do your best at just getting them back to school. And if you're not checking all the boxes, that's okay.
Yeah.
It's not going to make or break your child's year, you know? So last thing we wanted to talk about was, two things we wanted to talk about. So one was, if a child, let's just do a hypothetical. situation. Not that we ever did this as a family or whatever, but let's just say the family wants to go to Disney the first week of December. Everybody's either in preschool or elementary age. You're not a teacher anymore, but what's your professional opinion? I mean, come on.
Go to Disney World.
Go to Disney World, right?
It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's all right.
It's not going to make or break their academic career.
I remember we were going, I think we went on a cruise.
We did. We did that in February one time.
No, wait. We did that in February. That was in middle school. But
Yes.
Dad was about to go on deployment.
Yes.
And we were going for a full week. And because we were able to go down to
Jacksonville.
And
It was the second war. He got called up.
I was in fifth grade.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter. And all of my teachers was like, you go with your family. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I was like, just send me and I was a little bit of a nerd. Like, okay, send me my work. What do I need to get done? How do I need to do it? And guys, it all worked out. You know,
You actually graduated from that grade. You went on to
did.
middle school, high school,
I
college.
graduated from 5th grade. So I did it, guys. I did it. So I think,
I just think we should take those times to travel, to see the world when we can, not every month kind of thing, but whenever it's if the in-laws say, hey, we want to take everybody on an all expense paid trip to Disney, you go and you enjoy it. And it's not the end of the world.
yeah.
I mean, really and truly, middle school, high school is when it starts counting. And really, let's be honest, it's high school. So, I mean,
You have a little bit more makeup work to do in middle school, but yes,
you
for
do.
sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you got to get it done. All right, last but not least, this is what everybody wants to hear. What are the best teacher gifts?
In my opinion, the best teacher gifts are gift cards.
Okay, anywhere, everywhere?
Anywhere. I mean, usually the room mom will tell you, like, they'll fill out what does my teacher love? Read that, give a gift card. But also, I am a words of affirmation person. But like at the end of the year, like just writing, thank you for a great year, blah, 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 blah. Like, those are my favorite gift cards. Those are my favorite gifts.
And
was
maybe
just gift cards.
if you have a story to share with the teacher, like,
Share that.
yeah, you really, touched our little girl. They really came out of their shell this year, whatever it was.
And let me just say this. It doesn't need to be a very expensive gift card.
yeah.
If you can and you want to, do it. Like if you're like, man, this teacher was awesome. I really loved it. My blah, 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 blah. I really want to give an X amount of gift card, do it. But let's just say you have 4 kids. Do you know what that's like? 4 kids?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And you're like, ooh, we've got special teachers and normal teachers and then kindergarten. Like you've got all the teachers. Just do what you can.
Yeah.
And if you can't do anything, write them a letter.
Oh, yeah. I was off with some moms one time and they said, what do you give the PE teacher? And I was like, PE teacher? I don't think I ever gave a PE teacher not that I just didn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, I think it was one of Abby's friends and like she was my 4th. So I had already missed the boat with all of y'all. I was just like, oh, for the love, were we supposed to give PE teacher gifts and art teacher gifts? And yes, that would have been nice. It never even crossed my mind, ever. I was just so happy if I got the real teacher a gift card.
Yeah. And it's just, there's not an expectation. It is nice, but people, I cannot tell you the amount, the what, or the who, but the letters is what, the sentimental, like, thank you for this year. Mm-hmm. This is what it meant to me.
Yeah.
That's what meant
the most.
Then also when it comes back to first time of year, some people do like open house gifts and then first day of gifts. Like you don't have to do that if you want to do that, and that's something that you're excited to do. And like I'm like, I can do this. I'm excited. Then do it. But if you're like that stresses me out and I don't have the bandwidth to do that, just take a deep breath. It's gonna be okay. Mm-hmm. It's all right.
There you go.
So.
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed that. And I enjoyed it. It was sort of fun
it
to
was fun.
peer into your world. And listen, I take my hat off to all teachers.
Me too. I'm not in there anymore. People are like, you going back? I'm like, no. But teachers are amazing.
They are amazing. I mean, how many students would you have in your class?
Oh, I think I had 28 one time.
That's a lot.
It was a lot.
I mean, I don't even know how y'all do it. So I just take my hat off to you.
I do think teachers are underappreciated.
I do too.
And I mean, you think about it, there's some formidable years in those teaching worlds, especially elementary. I remember every single one of my elementary school teachers. I remember all of my students, and they do have a special place in their heart. So, in teachers' hearts and students' hearts. So, love on your teachers well because they love on your babies well.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And like you said, it doesn't have to be big gifts or over just a card with some words in it are really nice to hear.
Check back in them on October because that's conference season and everything's crazy because first report cards are due. So just love on them when you can.
So, okay, I hadn't even thought about that. So, like, what is something a parent could do for you during conference season?
Honestly, sometimes they'd be like, can I bring you a coffee in the morning?
Like whenever they're coming in for their conference?
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Or honestly, like, let's just say it's the third week of school. It's like, it takes about 2 weeks to get going. And then the third week, if you say, hey, I'm running by Starbucks, can I get you a coffee? Yes, leave it at the front desk. You don't have to come in. I mean, you can come in, but sometimes you're like, and they say, Miss Carissa, you have a coffee up front. You're like, oh my goodness, that's so exciting.
That is so, y'all, that's so good.
Or like,
I
hey,
never even thought of that.
if you're bringing your kids Chick-fil-A for lunch, maybe just ask if they want
just
anything
ask
from
if they would
Chick-fil-A.
like something.
Sometimes it's a no, but it's always nice to be asked.
Such good.
I know.
Such good nuggets today. All right, that's it. Do you want to lead us out or
Lead us out. Oh, yes.
like
I can
the
lead
outro? What you do all the time.
Yes. Well, mamas, thank you so much for joining us today on Wire Talk. It's always a pleasure to speak to you guys. And if you love Wire Talk as much as we love Wire Talk, please make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. If you loved this episode, share it with a friend. Tell us what you want to hear from us next. You can email us questions at info@birdsonawiremoms.com. Like always, the Wire Talk is just an arm of the ministry of Birds on a Wire. And if you have any questions or want to know a little bit more about Birds on a Wire, if you want to see the curriculum, devotionals, lunchbox notes, which are perfect just to throw them in, if you want to hear Karen speak live, then just check out the website at birdsonawiremoms.com. Thank you so much.